At 68, Linda from Chicago never imagined she'd be dating again. After losing her husband of 40 years, she assumed that romance was behind her, until an unexpected conversation at her community art class changed everything. You have no idea what men our age actually notice in a woman, her friend George, a 74-year-old widower, told her with a knowing smile. Linda was curious. She had always thought that men over 60 focused on youthfulness or appearance. But what George shared, and what research confirms, was something entirely different. Recent studies show that men in their golden years are drawn to qualities far beyond physical beauty, things that reveal depth, wisdom, and a life well lived. And the best part? These are qualities you already have. Today, we're diving into the 7 surprising things men truly notice in women over 60, the things that make you captivating, desirable, and unforgettable. These insights have helped countless women rediscover connection and love in their later years, just like Linda. Now, let's start with the very first quality, one that becomes even more attractive with age. 1. Authentic self-care. The most underrated yet powerful quality. When men notice a woman in her 60s or beyond, one of the first things that truly captures their attention isn't about looking younger. It's how she takes care of herself. Let's talk about Diane, a 72-year-old retired teacher from San Diego. After years of focusing on her family and career, she found herself hesitant to date again. She worried that her arthritis and the fact that she used a walking cane might make her less attractive. But when she met Paul at a community coffee gathering, something remarkable happened. I noticed how she listened to her body, Paul, now her partner of 3 years, shares. She didn't try to push through pain just to impress others, but she stayed active in ways that worked for her. That kind of wisdom and self-awareness was incredibly attractive. And Paul isn't alone in feeling this way. Studies from the National Institute on Aging reveal that 78% of successful relationships after 60 involve partners who prioritize self-care. Not in the sense of trying to turn back the clock, but in embracing a lifestyle that keeps them vibrant and engaged. This isn't about extreme diets or expensive treatments. It's about the small intentional choices that show you value yourself. Taking a daily walk, even if it's just around the block. Choosing foods that nourish your body. Getting enough rest and staying mentally active. After her divorce at 69, Maria from Denver learned this firsthand. I was living on a fixed income, she shares, but I found ways to take care of myself that didn't cost a fortune. Joining a free senior yoga class, growing my own herbs for fresh cooking, and making sure to get plenty of sleep. Her quiet confidence radiated, and within a year, she met Henry, who later told her, "Your commitment to your well-being inspired me to take better care of myself too." What men notice? It's not about looking perfect or erasing wrinkles. Men are drawn to women who embrace their mature years with grace. Those who make self-care a priority in a way that fits their life. Managing health challenges with wisdom. Staying socially active and engaged. Prioritizing emotional well-being. These choices reflect self-respect, confidence, and vitality. Qualities that are incredibly magnetic at any age. Now, let me ask you, what self-care habits make you feel your best? Share in the comments below. Your insight might just inspire someone else in our community. And now, let's move on to the second surprising quality men notice, one that becomes even more valuable with time. 2. The power of genuine listening, the rare and precious gift. In today's fast-paced world, where conversations are often rushed or distracted, one of the most overlooked yet deeply attractive qualities is the ability to truly listen. And for women over 60, this becomes even more powerful. Carol, a 69-year-old retired librarian from Austin, had always been self-conscious about her hearing aids, worrying they might make dating harder. But when she joined a discussion group at her local senior center, something unexpected happened. Men were drawn to her. At first, she didn't understand why, but then Richard, now her partner, explained, "Carol makes everyone feel heard. She leans in, makes eye contact, and listens with real interest. Even when technology fails her, her genuine attention never does." And Richard isn't alone in valuing this quality. A University of Michigan study found that couples over 60 who practice active listening report 65% higher relationship satisfaction than those who don't. Men, especially as they get older, appreciate women who stay present, ask thoughtful questions, and show curiosity rather than rushing to respond or competing with their own stories. For many seniors, feeling dismissed by younger generations is a common frustration. That's why when a woman genuinely listens, it's more than just polite. It's deeply meaningful. Joanne, 73, from Portland, used to worry about forgetting details in conversations, but then she realized it's not about perfect memory, it's about listening with heart. Instead of stressing over every word, she focused on the emotions behind them, noticed facial expressions, and asked clarifying questions. When she met David at a senior book club, this small shift made all the difference. He later told her, "You made me feel like what I had to say truly mattered. That's something rare, and I knew I wanted to be around that kind of energy." Men aren't just looking for someone to talk to. They're looking for someone who makes them feel heard. It's not about remembering every detail or having perfect hearing. It's about creating a space where real connection happens. Now, I'd love to hear from you. When was the last time someone made you feel truly heard? What did they do that made it special? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might help others strengthen this powerful skill. Next, let's move on to the third quality, one that reveals so much about who you truly are. 3. How you treat others. The unspoken reflection of your true self. When it comes to what men notice in a woman over 60, one of the most telling signs isn't about appearance or charm. It's how she treats the people around her. Let's talk about Janet, a 71-year-old retired teacher from Philadelphia. She wasn't the loudest or most outgoing person at her local coffee shop, but she always greeted the barista by name, held the door open for others, and took a moment to chat with the elderly man who sat alone every morning. One day, Robert, a 74-year-old widower, took notice. "I watched how she treated everyone. Not just me, but strangers, staff, and even the birds outside the cafe," he recalls. "Her kindness wasn't a performance, it was who she was. That told me everything I needed to know." Robert isn't the only one who values this. A senior dating research center study found that 82% of men over 65 rank kindness as the most important trait in a partner, far above physical appearance or financial status. And kindness isn't just about politeness. Men notice how a woman handles family dynamics, friendships, and even difficult moments. Margaret, 68, was blending two families after she remarried, and her new husband, Alan, said her ability to navigate relationships with patience and respect was what made him fall for her. "I saw how she set healthy boundaries but still showed love and care. That kind of emotional maturity is rare." Men also notice the way a woman treats service workers, how she interacts with younger generations, and whether she handles life's small frustrations with grace or irritation. These seemingly minor moments paint a bigger picture of someone's true character. Ruth, 73, found love again partly because of how she maintained friendships over the years. She remembered people's birthdays, checked in on old colleagues, and embraced new connections with warmth, says her husband David. "That showed me she valued relationships, and that meant she would value ours too." As we age, kindness isn't just a virtue. It's essential. Life after 60 often requires more support from others, and how we treat people directly impacts the quality of care and companionship we receive in return. Have you ever witnessed a small act of kindness that left a lasting impression? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone to bring more kindness into their daily life. Now let's explore the next surprising quality, one that speaks volumes without saying a single word. 4. Body language and presence, the silent magnetism that captivates. Before a woman even speaks, her presence tells a story. Confidence, warmth, and self-acceptance shine through in ways that men notice instantly. And the best part is that this kind of attraction has nothing to do with youth. It only grows stronger with age. Take Ellen, a 75-year-old from Atlanta, who once felt self-conscious about using a walker. She worried that men would see it as a sign of frailty, but when she met Charles at a senior dance class, she realized something surprising. She expected him to notice her walker, but instead, he noticed how she carried herself. Charles later told her that it wasn't the walker he saw, it was the way she moved with such dignity. She didn't try to hide it, she owned it. That confidence was magnetic. And science backs this up. A Senior Wellness Institute study found that 73% of successful relationships after 65 began with a nonverbal connection. It's not about perfect posture or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embracing yourself fully and letting that shine through in how you move, how you sit, and how you engage with the world. Dorothy, 70, learned this after recovering from hip surgery. Instead of rushing to keep up with others, she found her own pace. She stopped apologizing for moving slower and embraced it. And she started to notice people responding differently to her. One of those people was Richard, who met her at a community event. He later told her that she moved like someone who knew her worth. And that kind of quiet confidence is ageless. So what do men truly notice when it comes to body language? Eye contact signals confidence and presence. Good posture, whether sitting or standing, conveys self-assurance. Moving with intention, whether walking with a cane or dancing, shows grace rather than hesitation. And the simplest yet most powerful form of nonverbal attraction is a genuine smile. Think of your body language as the silent storyteller of your life. Every laugh line, every careful step, every graceful movement reflects decades of experience and wisdom. The way you carry yourself isn't about impressing others. It's about embracing the woman you are today. And when you do that, men notice. How has your relationship with body language changed over the years? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to embrace their presence with confidence. Now, let's move on to our next quality, one that touches the heart in ways words alone cannot. 5. The power of voice, the warmth and depth that draws people in. A woman's voice carries more than just words. It holds the richness of her experiences, the warmth of her emotions, and the confidence of a life well lived. And for men over 60, this is something they deeply notice. Susan, a 76-year-old from Denver, had always been self-conscious about how her voice had changed with age. It had grown huskier over the years, and she worried it made her sound less feminine. But at a senior speed dating event, she was surprised by the number of men who complimented her voice. One man told her it reminded him of coming home, calm, steady, and full of kindness. Her now partner, William, later said that her voice had a lived-in quality, like warm honey, full of wisdom and authenticity. And research supports this. A study from the Communication Studies Institute found that 68% of men over 65 find a mature woman's voice more appealing than a younger one. It's not about having a perfect pitch or hiding the effects of time. Instead, men are drawn to the emotional resonance that comes from decades of life experience. Martha, 72, discovered this after joining a weekly gathering at her senior center. Despite using hearing aids, she learned to speak with intention, clear, measured, and warm. She found that slowing down and adding warmth to her words made people lean in to listen. Her technique worked so well that she eventually started leading conversation groups for other seniors. What men truly notice isn't just the sound of a woman's voice, but how she uses it. A gentle laugh, a thoughtful pause, or a kind word delivered with sincerity creates an instant connection. Dr. Linda Roberts, a senior communication specialist, explains that after 60, a woman's voice carries the richness of her life stories. That authenticity is incredibly attractive. For those concerned about voice changes or working with hearing aids, remember that clarity and warmth matter more than volume. Simple practices like staying hydrated, speaking from the diaphragm, and maintaining good posture can help keep your voice strong and engaging. What qualities in a person's voice do you find most appealing? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might help someone discover the power in their own voice. Now, let's move on to the next quality, one that becomes more magnetic with each passing year. 6. Enthusiasm for life. The magnetic energy that draws people in. There's something undeniably attractive about a person who embraces life with curiosity and passion. Enthusiasm isn't about being overly energetic or constantly busy. It's about finding joy in the things that make life meaningful. And for men over 60, this quality is one of the most captivating. Alice, 78, from Phoenix, never thought she'd find love again after losing her husband of 45 years. For a long time, she felt like the best parts of her life were behind her. But on a whim, she joined a community gardening club. She didn't expect much from it, just a way to pass the time. But something changed when she started tending to her plants. She felt a renewed sense of purpose. It was there, among the rows of tomatoes and herbs, that she met Frank, 82. He later told her that what first caught his attention wasn't her appearance or what she said. It was the way her face lit up when she talked about her garden. Her enthusiasm was contagious. He found himself looking forward to their conversations about everything from composting to cooking. And the science backs this up. Studies from the Active Aging Institute show that seniors who maintain passionate interests are 3 times more likely to form meaningful relationships, regardless of physical limitations or age. What makes enthusiasm so attractive is that it's completely authentic. It can't be faked or forced. Men notice when a woman is genuinely excited about something, whether it's a hobby, a new skill, or simply the beauty of everyday life. Margaret, 73, who lives on a fixed income, turned her small apartment balcony into a bird sanctuary. She had no idea that this simple passion would lead her to Tom, a fellow bird lover who first noticed her while she was explaining different bird calls to neighborhood children. They bonded over their love for nature, and what started as a shared interest quickly became something deeper. Men are drawn to women who continue to explore life, whether it's through travel, learning, or creative pursuits. Sarah, 69, thought her arthritis would limit her ability to stay active, but instead of giving up, she found new ways to move: chair yoga and meditation. When she met David at a senior wellness class, he was inspired by her commitment to wellness, and it sparked an instant connection. The beauty of enthusiasm is that it's not about grand adventures or expensive hobbies. It's about finding delight in the everyday, discussing a great book, sharing a favorite recipe, or appreciating a beautiful sunset. This kind of energy signals that life is still full of possibilities, and that's what truly attracts people. What activities light up your world? Share your passions in the comments below. Your enthusiasm might inspire someone else to discover new interests and connections. Now, let's move on to our final quality, one that ties everything together in a remarkable way. 7. Personal energy, the quiet strength that draws others in. Beyond physical appearance, beyond words, and even beyond shared interests, there is one quality that men over 60 consistently notice in a woman: her energy. It's not about being the loudest person in the room or having endless stamina. It's about the quiet, steady presence that makes others feel at ease. Rose, 75, from Charlotte, had been living with chronic arthritis for years. After her divorce at 70, she faced a choice. She could let life's difficulties dim her light, or she could choose to embrace each day with grace. She chose the latter. She focused on the things that brought her joy, from morning walks to simple conversations with friends. It was this mindset that caught the attention of James, 77, at their local senior center. Rose has this remarkable way of making everyone feel better just by being around her, James explains. She doesn't pretend life is easy, but she also doesn't let hardships define her. That kind of energy is rare and incredibly attractive. And research supports this. A study from the Senior Wellness Foundation found that 84% of successful senior relationships cite emotional stability and positive energy as key factors in attraction. Men notice when a woman has developed emotional wisdom through life's experiences, someone who can navigate challenges with resilience instead of bitterness. Martha, 74, lost her husband of 40 years and was certain she would never feel joy again. But over time, she found ways to honor his memory while still allowing herself to embrace new possibilities. When she met Robert in a grief support group, what drew him to her wasn't just their shared experience of loss, but the way she balanced her grief with hope. She could talk about her past with love and honesty, but she was also open to the future, Robert says. That kind of emotional maturity is rare, and it made me want to get to know her more. Positive energy doesn't mean being happy all the time. It means choosing to focus on what's still good in life, even in the face of challenges. It means being someone who uplifts rather than drains, someone who approaches relationships with kindness and emotional steadiness. Whether it's maintaining a sense of humor, staying engaged in social circles, or simply carrying yourself with quiet confidence, the way you show up in the world influences how others see you. The energy you bring into a room, whether it's calm, warm, or full of joy, speaks louder than words. How do you maintain your positive energy while facing life's challenges? Share your wisdom in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. These 7 qualities: authentic self-care, genuine listening, kindness to others, confident presence, a warm voice, enthusiasm for life, and positive energy, become more precious with every passing year. And as we've seen through countless success stories, men notice and value these attributes far more than any attempt to recapture youth. Linda, from our opening story, is now happily in a relationship at 68. She once worried that dating after 60 would be impossible, but she discovered that the qualities she had all along, her wisdom, her kindness, her quiet confidence, were exactly what made her so captivating. Being authentically myself was the key to finding love again, she shares. Your life experience isn't a limitation. It's your greatest asset. Embrace who you are today and let your authentic self shine. Share your own journey in the comments below, and if you found value in this conversation, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on thriving in your golden years. A final thought on embracing your worth. As we wrap up, I want you to take a moment to reflect on something important. Everything we've talked about today, the qualities that men truly notice in women over 60, has nothing to do with trying to be someone you're not. It's about embracing who you already are. Think about it. The confidence that comes from caring for yourself, the warmth that comes from truly listening, the quiet strength in how you treat others, the grace in how you carry yourself, the richness in your voice, the spark of enthusiasm for life, and the energy that makes people feel at home around you. These are the things that make you unforgettable. So if you've ever worried that dating after 60 means trying to compete with younger women or changing yourself to fit someone else's expectations, let this be a reminder you don't have to. What makes you attractive isn't in the past. It's in the wisdom, authenticity, and depth that only time can bring. Remember Linda, who never imagined she'd find love again but did, simply by being herself. Her story isn't unique. There are countless women who have discovered that the key to connection isn't looking back. It's stepping forward with confidence, knowing that the right person will appreciate you for exactly who you are today. So here's my question for you. Which of these 7 qualities do you relate to the most? And which one do you want to cultivate even more in your life? Let's continue this conversation in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe for more insights on thriving in your golden years. There is so much life ahead, so many moments to cherish, connections to make, and love to give and receive. Stay open, stay confident, and most of all, stay true to yourself. I'll see you in the next one.